Hello and welcome to the Elite Sports Debate Podcast, episode 3, our awards evening. How's it going, Chezzy?
Yeah, I feel like I should have wore a tux.
I
for
know, we
today.
should have wore our suits, shouldn't we?
Mm,
Should have wore our suits for the gala awards evening.
yeah, piss
But
poor
it's
performance.
not us, really, I don't think.
No.
And I don't think the listeners and watchers are overly interested in us dressing up, to be honest. They just want to know the details, the nitty-gritty details. I think let's get into it, mate.
The heavily biased opinions from the Brighton fan.
That's not true. That's not fair. Right. Okay.
I swear down, if that player is in your defence.
Oh, it was close, mate. It was so. I was that close. That close.
Put it this way. My guy is on honorary mentions.
I was that close, but I knew the stick I'd get, and I thought, you know what? It's just not worth it. We'll come on to him, obviously. Don't get me started, Brian. You know what I'm like. So, and this is not biased at all. Right. So basically, we're going to start off with our teams of the year. And then we're also, after that, we're going to follow on to manager of the year, player of the year, young player of the year, underrated player of the year, and signing of the year. We have no idea about the other person's team of the year whatsoever. And that's the God's honest truth. Yeah. I know nothing about Chez's team.
And to be perfectly honest, like I think there's going to be glaring omissions from both of our teams, and the hardest place for me was like defence. I really felt that there was quite a few outstanding people, but they were outstanding for maybe half a season, not a full season.
I've got one of those.
Yeah. So I think both of mine are like that. But I just think that the impact that they had on the team was pretty big. My formation's a little bit ropey because I needed to get two people in there, and
mine's a little bit. It's not ridiculous, but it's a little bit. It's quite attacking.
Yeah. So anyway, right.
Did you want to go position by? Should we go like both goalkeepers and then both defences, or do you want one of us to rifle through and the other one to rifle through? I think probably position by position.
Yeah, position by position. I think that's.
Otherwise, one of us will just take 15 minutes of airtime, basically, which is an ideal, is it?
No.
You struggled with goalkeeper, so do you want me to go?
Yeah. I'm so looking forward to mine.
If it's Alisson, we're going to fall out. I'm not having any bias from you tonight whatsoever, because I have fought back hard from my bias.
Breaking news! There's no Liverpool players in. Actually, no, there is. Shit. Of course there is. Yeah, one player.
Wow. I would be amazed if there wasn't. Yeah, I know who it is. It's fine. Okay, my goalkeeper was between two standouts for me. It was between Pope and Ramsdale, and I went for Pope. Now I know what you're saying about half a season, but that half a season was incredible. And I mean, they didn't keep 2 clean sheets in the first 18 games or something wild like that. They had the joint best defense in the league, I think. So I just think, he's come in, fairly cheap signing, and he's done so well. He's had a really good season. Yes, he didn't finish the season amazingly, but was that his fault? Not really. He's an absolute stalwart in that team. He's a key player. Dubravka did well for them, and he's not getting a sniff ahead of Pope. I know not a lot of Newcastle fans that think he should be England's number one, and I don't think that's a ridiculous suggestion. Obviously, Pickford does pretty well for England, but yeah, I just think he deserves it, really.
Do you know, like, just thinking about Pickford, so obviously, as you'll know, I know a fair few Everton fans, and Everton, half of my family support Everton, so therefore I'm not Everton are. I've never grown up with a rivalry, so yes, I don't want them to do really well, but I didn't want them to get relegated. Pickford was someone who I thought was trash. And then this season, this last 6 months has been decent.
Yeah.
I feel like he's come good for Everton.
It just really quickly, it's such an interesting one, the Liverpool-Everton rivalry. I find it fascinating because I'm going to put off a lot of Crystal Palace. If there's any Crystal Palace listeners or watchers out there, I'm really sorry. You probably hate me anyway. If Crystal Palace were down there, I would love them to get relegated. So it's just such an interesting thing, isn't it? I don't know what it is. I think you maybe respect the club a bit more, maybe.
Yeah. I mean,
By the way, I'd expect Crystal Palace fans to want Brighton to go down. I think that's fairly normal. It's not necessarily a hatred. It's just a rivalry. And would I enjoy seeing them go down? Yeah.
I loved the torture all season. That was brilliant. Like, that was really good. For them to stay up on the last game of the season and stay up by not playing well, that was even better.
Yeah.
I just think that there's too much to be lost from the city, and there's too much to be lost from the rivalry, and there's too many good people who work at that football club who are good people whose jobs are potentially in jeopardy over the fact that a couple of people are running the club terribly.
Yeah,
so yeah, I think it's and like the top and bottom of it is like, yes, we don't like each other, but we love each other because usually it's family. So it's it's a crazy thing. It really is.
Like the really annoying little brother,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So and we've just had, like, in my lifetime, I've literally known 2 or 3 years of a decent rivalry when Moyes was in charge. So it was, it's never really been it's always been Man United. That's what our rivalry has been, battling with United, and then recently more City. But it's nothing is like the Liverpool-Manchester rivalry. Nothing. So, but yeah. Anyway,
your goalkeeper.
Scott Carson.
Yeah. Oh, unreal. Unbelievable.
So no, obviously it's not Scott Carson, but
burgling a career.
Absolutely. What a season. So he's added more to that team by just being English.
Yeah.
So he's just English, and he adds more to that team than so many other people do. No, so in all seriousness, mine was Ramsdale. I have been super impressed with him. I think that his whole demeanour was really good and was relatively calm. I quite like the banter that he has as well. Like, he's got a bit of character. He's got something about him.
Yeah.
But
he's a bit of a leader, really. He seems like a bit of a leader.
Yeah. And
you know what I mean? He's a good egg, and like, he's a good person to have around the dressing room. I think he seems like he cares about the club, and he's very motivated. And I think when he came in, everyone was like, "What are they doing signing Ramsdale for this amount of money?" And since he's been there, he's been top draw. And you can see him being there for what? How old is he? You can see him being there for the next 15 years. Why not? 10 to 15 years.
Why did he not be there? So I really like. Ultimately, I think that all goalkeepers have been crap this year. To be perfectly honest,
like I said, mine was Ramsdale or Pope.
I think that. I think the Newcastle defence as a whole has stood out rather than Pope stood out.
Yeah.
And the same really with Arsenal. I just think that I've seen a couple of Ramsdale saves that have made me go like, that was good. That was big. I remember he came out and closed down someone quite in that run of games where he won in the last minute. And it was like, oh, that's massive.
Yeah.
And he just seems to have a cool head. But Scott Carson's on the bench and he's coming on at half time.
Good old Scott. I feel like we've got the same right back.
Yeah,
Trippier all day long.
Yeah,
it was one of the easiest decisions, really.
Yeah, and like, I really feel like there's certain clubs who've let him down. So Tottenham, for example, what were they doing selling him? Like, and he went to Atletico Madrid, and I don't know. It's just it just seems strange. And Newcastle have just landed on an absolute gem.
Absolutely.
An absolute gem
For cheap, and for very cheap as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's and he's English, and
Yeah.
and he's captain, and
He's huge for them. He's huge. He's on all set pieces, on free kicks. He's just a huge player for them.
yeah, yeah,
Crosses, got loads of assists this year.
yeah,
Obviously, we do our FPL piece. He was an absolute shoo-in in the FPL team because he just got so many points, so many bonus points, so many clean sheet points.
yeah,
He was just
yeah,
an absolute
definitely.
lock.
Yeah.
Should we go for the other fullback?
Yes, I struggled a little bit with this one.
I did a little bit, but the best left back in the league this year was Purvis. It was. It's not biased at all. He was the best left back in the league this year. Most attacks, most passes, most chances created. Best left back in the league this year. That's not biased. He's just the best left back. He's class.
Okay. Can I give my input
You can.
now?
I'll stop now.
Yeah. Zinchenko, I've gone for. I just feel like probably like Trippier, just added so much to the team. I don't buy that like he turned them into winners. Like he gave them a mentality. I just think that I think Arteta knew that by buying him and Jesus, like you've got people who are going to work hard and are going to commit to training, and standards are going to be high. And I think that's probably what he's given. So for as much on the field as he did, I think it's equally as much off the field. And plus, he was really good. Whenever he played, he was really good. He ultimately surprised me because I thought that he used to be a little bit of a weakness for City, but actually it turned out that he would have been an actually really good player for them to
This year.
have had. Yeah.
After the Cancelo saga. No, that's fair enough. Absolutely fair enough. The only reason I didn't was I feel like Purvis the whole year has been phenomenal. Zinchenko just kind of dropped off a bit to the end of the year.
He got injured, didn't he?
Got injured, didn't he? But I can understand the pick. And I think he's a big part of that side now. I agree with you. Centre backs.
Both of them. Yeah.
I don't think we're going to have the same two here.
Yeah. I think I just picked the best ones that I saw play.
Yeah, which I haven't really. So, okay, my guess is you've had. No, I haven't got Dunk. Don't worry. I'm guessing you got Ruben Diaz.
Yeah.
I haven't.
Have you got John Stones?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's okay. That's okay.
So, and I didn't want both, really.
Yeah, no. So John Stones nearly went in my midfield, but I needed to make.
Diaz is unbelievable, and for me, he's Man City's best left back. But we're talking about team
left
of the
back.
season, best centre back. Sorry, but if we're talking about team of this season, okay, Stones has been outstanding.
Let me put something to you that when Pep was farting around with his team and keeping Diaz out, he put him back in March, and they won.
Yeah.
What was it? 12 games on the bounce.
Yeah. Stones is. No, I get you.
And I'm not saying John Stones wasn't there for that, because John Stones was there for that. I just think that
he's a top player, Diaz. He's a top player.
I was really, really, really close to putting Stones and Diaz in.
Yeah, and I was close, but I didn't really want to do that. I didn't want to have loads of City, and I just felt like I say, as a season, Stones has been outstanding, and he's probably overachieved. And I didn't just want to put the best team, because then, like, I don't know, let's use an example. Son is an outstanding player, probably one of the best players in the league, but he's not in any team of the season. So you can't just go at the best players. And Diaz has been fine, but I just think he was a bit of an obvious one, and I wanted to go a little bit different. And Stones, especially these last few games, he's impressed me. I've always been a bit. Is he a bit accident prone? Has he got a mistake in him? And he's been outstanding. No. So good. He's got into midfield, and he's not looked out of place.
Well, he was a midfielder, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's a footballer, isn't he?
Yeah. He's quality. Man City don't buy.
Yeah, they don't buy. They don't buy your John Terrys. They buy your footballers. Yeah. The other one. So you got Diaz. I got Stones.
1 second. Did you just claim that John Terry couldn't play football?
He was John Terry's class, but all I mean is he was more of an old school centre back. Get your head in the way.
Okay. Well, then choose an old school centre back like Sol Campbell. No,
Sol Campbell's class. You leave Sol alone.
Oh my god!
He was class.
Right. Right, you need to watch some YouTube videos.
Right. The never-ending slide.
No. John Terry, massively underrated.
No, he's
Very.
a brilliant player. Was he a footballer? Okay, how many times did he play midfielder? He didn't play midfield, did he?
No, because he was shit hot at centre back.
Yeah, and so is John Stones.
Yeah,
but all I'm saying is John Terry isn't a footballer.
How many times did Rio Ferdinand play in centre mid? Just shut up.
Ferdinand was a better footballer than John Terry.
Yes.
All day long.
Yes.
Terry was a world-class centre back, by the way, but he was a hard man. He was a Terry Butcher. He was a Stuart Pearce.
I honestly think that you're underrating his football.
I love Terry. Yeah, maybe. Whatever. We're wasting time. I think you are. The other centre back.
I've gone for Saliba.
So have I.
Because I think that he changed. I always thought that Arsenal, up until getting him in with Gabriel and another, and when Saliba got injured, it was a big change in their fortune. So it was more along the basis that the difference that he made when he was in the team was huge.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree.
That's why he's in.
Huge player for them. Again, the only tiny doubt was he didn't have all season, but it's not his fault he got injured. For the first half of the season, he was absolutely outstanding. And you're right, he was part of the reason why they were doing so well, because they were so solid at the back, and they haven't been that for years. And clearly they missed him when he was gone. Yes, it's partly that the replacement, without being harsh, wasn't great. I think Arsenal's lack of depth probably cost them the league, if I'm honest. But yeah, that's just kind of.
Not think Rob Holding's up to it now.
Not really. Not really. He's not really a Premier League winning centre back, is he? Let's be honest.
No, sorry, Rob.
Good. So yeah, I mean, pretty similar. You got Zinchenko at left back, and I went Purvis, and you went Diaz. I went Stones. So, but Trips and Saliba are the same. Okay, yeah. I've gone for a 3 in midfield. Have you done similar?
Yes. I've gone for 1 sit-in and 2 central midfielders.
Yeah, I've got a feeling we might be quite similar here.
Yeah. It's Rodri, isn't it?
It's Rodri, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And he
picks himself.
Him in that team just makes Man City tick massively. I actually watched some highlights of the Champions League final. And I know this is a Premier League, but watched some highlights of the Champions League final, and he was actually playing a lot further up the field. Because I saw the thing where he was like, I was playing as a number 8, and I was thinking, really, were you? What was I seeing? And yes, he was dropping deep to get the ball, but then he was running on past players. And I don't know. I just think again, Man City don't play.
He is top class. And you take him out of that side. I'm not saying it's a bad side. They would miss him so much. I think he's one of those players, a bit like a Fernandinho, where you only appreciate him when he's not there anymore. It's a bit like a Carrick in a way. It's like, does a job week in, week out, top draw, underrated. And then he's not there and you're like, he was actually really good. And he's a brilliant player, and he's so important for City, and he was a hell of a signing. Mm-hmm. I just really quickly, I really wanted to get Casemiro in there, and I just couldn't quite. Because he's been class. I really wanted him in there, but I just didn't quite have him.
I don't think that he's been on Rodri's level, though.
No, I agree.
And I don't think he's been on the level of the other 2 that I've got. So,
I mean, should we just get Kevin De Bruyne out of the way?
Yeah, done.
Do we need to say anything?
No.
Is he one of the top 5 players we've ever seen in the Premier League?
He's knocking on that door.
He's in my top 5.
Yeah. I watched some highlights of Torres earlier on, and it made me get an erection.
Yeah, but he was. Don't get me wrong, he was great. It was 2 years.
Yeah. No, I'm on board with that. Like, and but like ultimately, Look,
he's so gifted. I mean, Christ alive.
Yeah.
He just starts for any team in the world, doesn't he?
He's growing into the player that can grab the game by the scruff of the neck and just like change it like kind of what Gerrard used to be able to do. Like I think he's throwing more into Gerrard the more I watch him. Like even the way he moves, the way he does a lot of things and stuff. Let's not talk anymore.
He's had a brilliant season as well. It's not just again. I didn't just want to pick the best players. He's also had a brilliant season. I mean, the game against Arsenal at home. If we did an award for performance of the season, that would probably be it.
The only other person that I was tempted with was Bernardo, because I think that they're quite similar, and if anything, he's possibly he was in my honourable mentions, which I was going to make in a bit. But anyway, next one it's the Arsenal captain, Odegaard. Yeah. And those three in midfield have just been the best. And if you could create, those two, De Bruyne and Odegaard, have been so creative. So I will hold my hands up. And I was so doubtful of Odegaard's impact, especially on the Premier League. Like I just felt that he'd kind of not done it in so many places that I didn't see how he was then going to come to the Premier League and do it.
Well, I remember he had his loan year, didn't he? And he wasn't that good. And I remember you saying, and I was semi on board with it. They did, and you were just like, I don't think he's that good. Shouldn't really sign for them. And I can understand why you thought that. I wasn't quite as strong as you, but I can understand why you thought that. And then he's obviously just given you no choice this year. He's just been absolutely outstanding.
No, and by the way, I'm made up because I think that he's I think that he's a lovely footballer to watch. I think he seems like a really sound guy, and he's captain of Arsenal at
24.
What age?
24.
Yeah, like that is just that
speaks volumes, doesn't it?
Scary, and when you're keeping Smith Rowe out the team.
Yeah,
like who
get a kick.
In that loan season, Smith Rowe was the player really,
and
he's twice the player of Smith Rowe, twice the player.
Yeah.
And by the way, I feel sorry for Smith Rowe. Like he probably needs to make a decision really on what he does because he's just not getting anywhere near that team until.
And he's a good player. He'd do well.
Yeah, he'd do well
in somewhere like us. I'd have him. Do you know what I mean? Or
he's so
Brentford. Brentford, he'd do amazingly well. Fulham, he'd do amazingly well.
Newcastle.
Yeah.
Newcastle. They're looking at people like Maddison. I think he's better than Maddison. So, but anyhow. So I needed to get these three people in this team.
Yeah, I think we're the same, mate.
And I didn't. I couldn't. Ultimately, no one's going to play on the left wing.
I think we're the same, mate. Oh, God's sake. We've got the same fucking three central midfielders and the same three up top.
Okay. Salah, Kane, Haaland.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just... Mo Salah, right? So I'm a Liverpool fan. Everyone knows that, right? He surprises me season after season after season. And I know it. I know how good of a footballer he is. And I know how clinical he is, but you just can't argue with his numbers.
I think the biggest point about it is he was the one I was having an argument with. Exactly. You ask any football fan, and they would say Salah's had a really bad season. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Did you see the stat that he's the third in goals and assists in all of the top 5 European leagues? Third.
Yeah. And the thing is what you've got to So when Ronaldo was scoring all the time for Madrid, everything went through him. So every single person looked for Ronaldo. So people do that for Salah, and he is super greedy. But this season, I feel like he's missed more chances than he scored, and I know that probably just means that he always has loads of chances. But in games before and years before, he's kind of scored on every. I felt like he scored on every chance, and I don't know.
Again, like I say, the biggest thing that speaks volumes about him is he's had a bad season, and he's got. I think I'm just trying to dig it out now. He's got 30 goals and 15 assists, right? So Haaland's top, Mbappe second, Salah's third. That's madness for someone that's had a poor season.
Yeah.
You ask most football fans, 90% of football fans will tell you he's had a poor season.
Yeah.
And he's still third in the world, basically. It's just madness. So it scares me to think of what a good season looks like for him. And he's an again. You don't mean to be biased. Maybe you would be. Maybe you wouldn't be. I'm not at all. He's one of the most underappreciated players we've seen in the Premier League.
Yeah, yeah.
He's still underappreciated. Why?
Suarez was doing, I think it's more the fact that he's actually quite scruffy as a footballer.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the amazing kind of touches, skill. The way he takes people on is by power, strength, and
he went on
so clinical.
Yeah, he went on a run last year of a few games where he just lit it up, and I was like, was it City he scored against at Anfield? I think he scored an absolute wonder goal. I was like, he had a few games where he was top draw, and then obviously went a bit quiet towards the end of the season. He had all the contract stuff, and then maybe he was a bit chilled this year because he signed his new deal, feet up a little bit, but again, feet up is 30 goals and 15 assists, right?
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Madness.
Yeah.
Haaland, I mean, what'd you say?
Haaland. Absolute. I think the easiest way that I can say it now, and I think Aguero gave it them, but he was super injury prone. Man City have now got a spike.
Yeah.
They used to be just a massive big hammer, and they would hammer you down, and before you knew it, you'd lost because they wore you down. Well, now this hammer has got a massive big spike in the middle of it, and one hit and you're done because he takes one chance and
he doesn't touch the ball.
No, and
it's mad.
And he's got so much to his game. He really does have so much to his game.
He's got everything.
And I haven't seen a person make such an impact in 1 year. No way.
I agree. The scary thing is he's 22.
And he's playing for the best team.
He's 22. He just won the treble.
He's playing for the best team in the world.
Oh my god! It's interesting because he's got this release clause, and everyone always talks about the Real Madrid move one day. Real Madrid are a bigger club. Would you take that move? I don't know.
I think honestly, he seems like the type of person that kind of wants to do. I've conquered Spain. I've conquered the Premier League. I've conquered Spain.
Maybe.
I've conquered Italy. I feel like he's going to end up being quite he's going to end up being quite a transferred player. I think
a Ronaldo kind of rather than a Messi.
Yes, yeah.
Maybe.
I think I get that impression about him.
I just think at City you can do everything you want. You're going to win loads. You can win the Ballon d'Or at City, of course you can.
Well, why is he not going to win it this year?
He could. He's scary.
I don't think it's a could. I think he should.
Yeah.
Who else wins it?
No, he's bang up there in the mix for sure.
He's not bang up. He's not bang up. He is there.
Yeah.
If he doesn't win it, so say Vinicius Junior wins it, right?
Yeah. I've not actually looked because obviously it's usually Ronaldo or Messi, but not anymore.
Yeah. So if Vinicius Junior wins it, then we know that it's just a massive La Liga bias because I'm sorry, he scored a stupid amount of goals, and if he's not favourite,
he's not favourite.
He's not favourite.
He's second favourite. Guess who's favourite?
Fuck off. And Mbappe?
Messi.
Fuck off.
Messi's favourite. 3-1 on. Then it's Haaland 2-1, and then it's Ronaldo.
Sorry, I did forget. That the
World Cup, yeah.
World Cup.
I guess that counts. Yeah. Yeah. I guess that kind of semi counts. Fine.
But if that counts, then give it to Alvarez.
Messi, Haaland, and then it's one of those two, and then De Bruyne's third. But Yeah, they'll probably give it Messi because it just depends what they do. Depends whether they focus more on international, whether they focus more on club.
I'd rather them give it to Messi, but yeah,
I can understand that.
But it should be Haaland, right?
Yeah, what was I going to say? Do you think that Kane would have got the same amount of goals as Haaland in the Man City team?
I think he would have got more.
Do you?
Yeah. I think Kane is an absolute. I just think he's got a tiny bit more resilience because he's probably a little bit older than
Why do you
Haaland
think he would have got more? Because do you think he's a better striker?
I think he's probably a more. Oh, it sounds amazing that I'm going to say clinical. I just think he's more mature. I think maybe he would have. I don't know. Okay.
I know what you're saying.
Mean, you're pulling teeth, aren't you? You know, it's literally.
yeah. I think he would have got similar.
I definitely don't think that he would have scored less. There's some of the goals, like that kind of sideways volley that Haaland scored, Kane doesn't score them goals.
He'll score a hell of a lot of tap-ins.
But I mean,
Kane would score a disgusting amount of tap-ins.
I think I heard Gary Lineker talking about, like, he was saying that he would have scored.
Yeah,
he would have scored more goals than Haaland. I think he said that, and I think that's. I don't think it's widely a wild suggestion.
No, but I don't think we should take away from what he's done either. You know, it's very easy to go, oh yeah, we all just score the same, but there's been he's the top goal scorer of all time in the Premier League. So I think it's quite easy to go, I'd have scored 35 goals. Well, no one's done it before.
No.
So I don't think we should take away what he's done.
I'm not, by the way. I'm not.
Yeah, no, I know you're not. Yeah. And do you think City would have won the league without him? If they hadn't have signed Haaland, do you think they still would have won the league?
Yeah, because Alvarez is a great player. Alvarez is a superb player.
Yeah, he is.
I think maybe it would have been more.
I think it would have been closer. I think Arsenal may have held on, but we'll never know. I just think he's a difference maker, right? I don't think there's any coincidence that City have now won the Champions League because they got Haaland.
No.
I think he's part of the reason. I think he was the next level for them to go. This is what we need.
He's the spike.
Yeah, I agree. I mean Kane, but we've kind of touched on it a little bit.
In a terrible.
Yeah, I was going to say same as Salah in terms of, I would argue, underappreciated.
Whoa. There's a bad team, and then there's
Spurs are terrible.
And then there's Spurs. Like Spurs this year were like fodder.
Yeah, and he got 30 Premier League goals in a very average side. Yeah, it's madness. He's so good. And again, arguably underappreciated. People love to slate him. He's such an easy target. He's won no trophies. He's such an easy target.
And
missed the penalty for England. Like, we love slating him, but he's so good.
And what he does for the team as well. You know, he's on every front cover of Spurs stuff. He has to do every interview. He's the person who carries the can for everything. Every single summer there's transfer rumours about him.
I honestly so hope he gets his move. I really do. I don't think he will, but I really want him to.
I just want Daniel Levy to actually respect him as a human being and not treat him like a toy that he doesn't want to get rid of. Like the guy has done so much for you, and you're not doing anything for him. Like, what is Daniel Levy doing for him apart from giving him?
I agree with you. This is definitely last chance saloon, 100%. They haven't got a European football. This is definitely last chance saloon, and I think they don't want us. By the sounds of it, they don't want to sell him to another Premier League club, which I can completely understand. He's a ready-made fit at Real Madrid as a Benzema replacement. Honestly.
Well, they want Mbappe now, don't they? So.
Yeah, get both.
No. They can't. They can't.
Right.
They've spent so much on.
It'll be
Bellingham.
one of those, right? They'll get one of those.
Yeah.
But I just think as a look, of course Mbappe, but I see Mbappe more of an attacking winger. Kane's obviously an out and out striker. I just think he's just a natural replacement for Benzema, and I just think one, he'd go there. Two, he'd bang so many goals in there, and three, he'd win stuff. He'd score a hideous amount of goals at Real Madrid.
Silly.
I think he deserves it, and I actually feel a bit bad for him because he's been so loyal.
For me, the move where he goes is Man United.
Yeah, but I don't think Levy sells to United.
Well, I'm sorry, but I don't think it's Levy's choice anymore.
But it kind of is.
No, but it shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be, but it is.
He is a human being.
No, I know. I agree. It shouldn't be.
If you wanted to move to a different golf club, and that golf club was happy to pay out you of your contract, which was 2 years left on your contract, and they were happy to do it, and they were happy to pay the money that met the needs of the contract, then it should not matter who you go to.
I agree. I just think,
there's actually like some human rights things coming in now that where he is literally being held to ransom. Like by the way, like
don't feel sorry for him. He's still on
don't feel sorry for him. He's on 300 odd grand a week.
Yeah,
but it's like I just think that there's he's the spike to what Man United could be.
I agree. Have you seen the last couple of days? They've come out and said they're cooling interest because it's clear that Levy doesn't want to sell to an English club. But I know what you're saying. It's just a shame. People forget he refused to train last year because he was pushing that hard for his move to Man City. He was not turning up to training. So when people go, "Oh, he's not really pushed hard enough," how can you push harder than not turning up to training?
Yeah, and there had to be. I just don't get how there wasn't a deal in that negotiation to get him back into training. Like there wasn't a deal to say that, look, we will guarantee Champions League football, and the season when you don't get it, I'll let you go. I'll let you go.
I agree with you. It's not good. It's not a well-run club. That's where we're different. Without banging on about us, we said to Casado, we're not sending you in January. We want European football. You can go in the summer, and that's going to happen. That's not reasonable, is it? We said the same to McAllister. Stay this season. We're pushing for Europe. Go in the summer. We're not unreasonable about it. Whereas Levy's unreasonable about it.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on. Good. Team of the season's done. We had our 6 attacking players are the same, or midfielders and attackers. Right back was the same. Saliba was the same. You had DS, I had Stones. You had Zinchenko, I had Purvis. You had Ramsdale, I had Pope. So very similar. Very similar. Yeah. Manager of the year. I didn't want to do this, but I had to.
So, what, you've gone Pep?
Yeah.
Has Pep done... So this is Premier League, isn't it?
Yeah. But you can't really ignore other stuff, can you?
Nope.
I didn't want to, but I felt like I had to.
I've gone for Gary O'Neill.
Yeah.
And I think that he is more of the reason why I feel like he has been a big reason as to why they've stayed up.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And credit to the Bournemouth board because they didn't get rid of him when they probably should have done. And yeah.
Fair. Yeah, like I say, I was thinking, the one I was close to was Eddie Howe.
Yeah, so Eddie Howe was in my honourable mentions actually on my
He
was sheet.
So close. If I decided I didn't want to do Pep, I was going to go Eddie, but I kind of felt like I kind of had to.
Do you know what I love about Eddie Howe is there's never a rumour, there's never a drama, everything just seems calm.
Yeah,
like so Arteta
never loses his temper.
Yeah, Arteta, there's always a kind of little bit of an undercurrent there. Pep, there's always a little bit of an undercurrent. Klopp, there is an undercurrent. He's moaning all the time. Like, I think that Ten Hag has got a little bit of that, where he's dead calm and just keeps things really neutral. But Eddie Howe is the master of it. He just keeps everyone on side who needs to be on side. There's no leaks from the club that this is going wrong, or I just feel like it's a well-run setup, and I think it is down to Eddie Howe. However, I'm just every single person at the start of last year had Bournemouth to be relegated. And they never got relegated.
Most people have Bournemouth bottom of the league, mate.
Yeah. So,
I had them bottom.
And halfway through the season they were gone as well. So
yeah, they were. It's so funny. I think people need to remember this for next season. Don't draw conclusions halfway through the season.
Yeah.
And we're so guilty of it. Bournemouth are gone. Mm-hmm. There's 2 others. We're halfway through the season, mate. And I'm guilty as well, but we make such assumptions with so many games left, and things change so much. Villa are in a relegation battle; they qualify for Europe. So things can change so much. Never make assumptions, because at the end of the day, every team's 3 or 4 games away from either getting out of the relegation zone or being dragged into relegation zone. So it only takes 3 or 4 good games for a manager to get sacked, right? So you're never too far away. Player of the year, we don't need to say too much here, do we?
I said to you just before we came on that, and we didn't tell each other what they were. I said that I suggested that we only pick one of them for each of these, because this player could have been a young player and he could have been in best signing. Obviously, it's Haaland, and we have talked about it already, the impact that he's had. But I really didn't want to choose him because he's just a boring pick.
He's a boring pick, but he's the right pick.
He's the right pick. Yeah. It's it's the right thing to fold 7 deuce, but it's really interesting to play it. Just to flip it over. It's so interesting.
Just see everyone's face. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No, I get you, but I think sadly by default.
Yeah.
Young player, you can start us off here.
Yeah, so this is a player that I feel has. So when I was thinking about young player, I wanted to kind of pick a player who's been super impactful this year and really has broke away from what he previously potentially was. So I've gone for Martinelli. The main reason why I think his output has gone through the roof. He previously was a very, very, very good player, easy on the eye. His ability to cut inside, put defenders on the back foot was sensational, but his output wasn't the best.
Yeah.
The thing that he's produced now is goals and assists. If you are in a team in that position, top 4, chasing for the title, you need those players to be goals and assists. The reason why Salah, Mane, Mahrez, their goals and assists are through the roof, and that's possibly one of the things that Jack Grealish doesn't have going for him, is that his goals and assists aren't there. His output for the team is really good, but his goals and assists aren't there.
Yeah,
but Martinelli is the one player that just seems to have added that to his game, and that was possibly one of the only things that was missing. So I've been super impressed with him, to be honest. He's 21. I really feel like I felt. Do you know what? I checked his age to check whether he was young enough. I felt like he would be around about 23.
Yeah.
So I was surprised and happy that he was.
Yeah. No, fair. I very nearly went for him. He was second on my list. I looked at all the Arsenals actually. I think you can make a case for the 3 Arsenal attacking midfielders as the top 3 young players of the season. I looked at Saka. He has had a very good season.
I just don't think he's broke out. He was doing.
No, I agree. He was good before. No, I agree. I think Martinelli is a great pick. The reason I'm laughing, mine's Odegaard. He's 24. We're going to let it slide. 24 is young, right? I'd love to be 24. We didn't specify 21 and under.
24 is your prime. When can you win?
He's a young player.
when can you win the Young Player of the Year? Google when you can. No. You shouldn't have been such a weirdo and picked the 24-year-old as Young Player of the Year.
He's young, mate. Right, one sec.
Right. Anyway,
oh god, PFA Young Player of the Year, age 21 or under, as of the 1st of July. Okay, fine. I can go Saka then.
But that's rubbish. That's a rubbish pick.
It's not a rubbish pick. He's class. He's been brilliant for them.
But you would have picked him last year as a Young
been
Player
better
of the
this
Year.
year, mate. He's been better this year than last year.
That's because Arsenal were better.
Yes, Martinelli was better because Arsenal were better.
Right, Johnson, I'm gonna grade you a B- for effort because that was just.
Mate, I'm trying to play by the rules.
No, you're not. Because the rules state that you have to do it. Anyway, how old's Saka? Is he 21?
I think so. Let me have a look. He's young. We know that. He's 21. Yeah.
Jesus, skin of your teeth, mate. Skin of your teeth.
Right. So the only reason I was going to think that I'd be allowed Odegaard, I don't know if you watched the Carragher and Neville Awards. And where is he? Neville went for Odegaard, Young Player of the Season. Yeah, and Gnev is God.
Jesus wept.
Anyway, if I'm allowed Odegaard, it's Odegaard. We've talked about him already. He's amazing, leader, brilliant player, scores from outside the box for fun, unbelievable player. If I'm not allowed him, it's Saka for similar reasons. And so it could be Martinelli as well, but I didn't want to copy you.
But you didn't know it was me.
I mean, I could go Julian Ciso if you want, but you're probably going to pause the pod and I'm probably going to get the pod cancelled. So I probably won't say that, but.
Don't worry, I'll get it cancelled in a bit.
Go Evan Ferguson if you want. I mean, we can go down that route. I don't mind.
No.
Shall we move on?
Thank God for that. Move on.
Underrated player.
Right. Sound. Odegaard.
Is that what you've gone for? Wow.
Yes. I do not. I think that yes, he has had credit, but for what he has had to shoulder in Arsenal season has been mega. Like they've all the hype about it. No other bloody club has got so many fan pages than Arsenal, and they're all stupid. So the Arsenal bring stupidity on themselves, like they do, and I think that if you're captain of that club, like the amount of stupid people that they got playing for them, including Granit Xhaka, trying to deal with him must be horrendous. So Andy's a sensational player, and the reason why I probably have picked him as an underrated player is because I massively didn't rate him. So therefore, this is me. Yeah. This is me semi-apologising to him.
Yeah. You've gone from my most overrated player to my most underrated. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Martin, I was wrong, and that's fine. Fine to be wrong. Coming on to my underrated player of the year, Ches, can you do me a favour?
Yes.
Am I allowed to have Lewis Dunk? He's so fucking underrated. It's scary. It scares me how underrated he is. It's scary.
Do you know what? I watched a podcast with Matt Letizia the other day, and he was talking about how like the Big Six bias was massive and is massive, and he only started 3 times for England. And by the way, I'm not saying that Lewis Dunk is on a par with Matt Letizia.
Letizia was unbelievable.
But what I am going to say is how Harry Maguire gets into the England squad time and time again is not right when he's not playing.
Yeah.
For starters, and it's just based on the fact that Harry Maguire has done well for England. You can't say he's not, but did do well.
Yeah.
2017 to 2021, maybe.
Yeah.
He's done well. The last 2 years, he's not done well for England. So
But I understand what you're saying. And where he's gone differently, though, which is why I don't understand Southgate, is Sterling is similar in that he's done amazing for England. Can't say he hasn't, because he was brilliant at the Euros, etc. Yeah, he wasn't so good at the World Cup. But he's now had the balls to drop him because he's had a terrible season. So I don't understand why he does it with Sterling, but he doesn't with Maguire.
I honestly feel that it's potentially like something along the lines of like Maguire's mental health would be so knocked by I just feel like
I don't know.
I honestly feel that I'm actually to the stage now with Maguire where I feel sorry for him.
Yeah.
I don't.
He's such an easy target, isn't it?
He's such an easy target.
But he's not. He isn't any good though, mate. It's not. We're not kidding ourselves. He's just no good.
There's a player there. I really, really, really think there's a player there. He just cannot handle there's a difference between being a player and being a Man United player. You are
Man United captain.
Every single time Man United play anyone, it's the cup final.
Yeah.
Tell me, if you're a Brighton fan, Man United away, is that not one of the biggest games of the season?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You're Newcastle, you're Leeds, you're Liverpool. Everyone wants to beat Man United. Yeah. So that is that's a massive, massive, massive issue for every single Man United player. So whenever they're talking to about academy players, they're talking about they need to breed a player who's ready to deal with that kind of situation. Where, and this is the issue with that Harry Maguire's got, and I firmly believe if he went to a club on a level of
was linked with Spurs.
Newcastle, Spurs, I think that there's a potential for him to do well. Whether he's does well enough to get back to starting for England, whether he does well enough to get back into the levels of being £80 million, I highly doubt it. But I think there is a good Premier League player there.
Yeah, maybe. I can't quite get past all the errors he makes, but I know what you're saying. I just think, again, trying not to be biased as I possibly can. I'm really trying hard not to be. I've just seen Dunk so much, and he's just so good. But could Dunk have done what Maguire's done for England? In my opinion, yes, he could have done. And it's just a shame. One cap is just such a shame. But I completely agree with you. I think it's partly Big Six bias.
If Lewis Dunk went to Tottenham, he'd be in that team.
Yeah, or Chelsea. He was linked with Chelsea a couple of years ago.
No. Yeah. He doesn't even need to go that high. He only needs to go to that next level. And I think the fact that you're in Europe,
had a good season. That's why he's been called up.
Yeah.
And obviously it's a shame he got injured and he's not. But hopefully Southgate will give him another chance. But it's all just a bit too late, really. He's 30 now, so. But yeah, great player.
That's not late. That's not late for a defender.
I think it's partly because it's biased, like you said. And I think it's partly style. I think Dunk's phenomenal, but I think Southgate must just want something else. And I don't know what, because he's brilliant, because he can pass as well. He could really pass. He spreads it around for fun. So, but look, better late than never. At least he got called up now, and I think he's just been pivotal last season and disgustingly underrated. There's another one I need to mention, but he kind of he got his appreciation towards the end of the season. That was Gundogan. For the first half of the season, no one was saying anything about him, and I was banging the drum, and I was like, this boy is so good, and no one was saying anything until Goodison Park scored a wonder goal. He just kept scoring. He was pivotal, absolutely pivotal. At the second half of the season.
What's really bad is I wouldn't actually start him in my best City team, and that's terrible.
Wow. That's terrible. But again, it just shows you that just doesn't get enough credit. He's so good, and he was just he's just one of those players that make Man City really good, that go unnoticed. Bernardo Silva's another one. He'll go to another club and everyone be like, wow, who the hell's this? But because he's at City, he just kind of gets a little bit overlooked. He just does such a good job. But like I say, it was weird because he kind of got the credit in the end.
He's lifted three bloody trophies. So.
He's a top player.
Yeah.
Top. Some of the goals he scored at the end of the season were phenomenal. So, okay, we ready for signing of the season?
Yep. Can't wait to get cancelled.
Oh God! Don't say like Gakpo or someone stupid like that.
Nope.
It's gonna be Liverpool, isn't it? Right. So it's gonna be. Oh God! Go on.
Deserving.
Were you just changing the rules?
Did you sign him?
Do you know what? Mate? You're allowed to change the rules because I'm all ears.
Did you sign him? Did you sign him?
As a manager, yeah, not a player. Mind you, he came onto the pitch at Arsenal. He was that excited. But I love him.
So it's.
I love him. How can you not?
So the reason why I've gone with him, because I went through every single team, and the usual picks would have been bloody an Arsenal. Jesus hasn't really done much. Zinchenko. I feel like I already mentioned him as my left back, so I didn't really want to go there. So I went through the whole team, and there wasn't. The only other one would have been maybe Casemiro, because I do think he's had a big impact on that team. But I still don't think he's been amazing. However, the thing that I stopped upon was I watched the podcast with Barber, and they discussed about how everything was planned with Potter, and 5 games in, he gets poached by Chelsea.
Yeah.
And everything could have gone. I honestly think that if you would have, it would have been a shorter odds for you to get relegated than finish in the top half of the season.
I think you're probably right. Yeah. That's what I said at the time. I said this to everyone. I was like, this is not just your typical manager getting poached. This is this is the soul of the club getting taken away.
You were like, I was on suicide watch for you.
Oh
mate,
I was gutted. Even the guys at work were like, wow, I've never seen you like this. I was really upset because, like I say, it wasn't just the manager. It was the culture. It was a change of football. It was the style, and it wasn't only that. That's a huge part of what we did. It was Bruno, one of our biggest, if not our biggest legend ever, gone, taken away.
Only legend.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Hugh, we love him there, and gone, taken away. Ben Roberts, our goalkeeping coach, everyone ranted and raved about how good he was, gone. So just the soul got taken out of the club, and I was like, we're done. Not we're done. Not we're going to maybe go straight down, but we're going to start the decline now. I felt like the good times, the 9th place finish was kind of our roof, and then we were going to go back to normality. Felt like a bit of a slap in the face. And if you'd have said to me, we're going to bring in this guy that most people have never heard of, and we'd end up coming 6th, I'd have said, you're a lunatic.
Exactly. And that's what so when I think about a signing, I think about the club bringing in a person that changes the fortune of the team.
Yeah.
And I don't think, obviously we mentioned Haaland, and we didn't want to put, you couldn't duel up. So I feel like there was a massive moment in your season then, 4 games in, where De Zerbi came in and it went the seesaw the right way. And it was based upon the signing that he made. And now at the end of the season, Pep Guardiola, who's just won a treble, is talking about how good De Zerbi is.
Moving the needle, yeah.
Fair dues. So that's me. Amazing. That's me. And I actually don't care whatever you think.
No, I'm on board, mate. I like it. It's different, and I get it.
You picked a middle-aged, young player. So yeah.
Yeah. No, that's fair. And lastly, what I would say is 2 things. One, we'll do very well to keep him, very well, because he's on the radar of so many clubs, especially your AC Milan, the Juventuses, Tottenham want him, etc. Maybe it would be a bit of a sideways move, but I'm not stupid. They're obviously a bigger club. But one would do well to keep him. And I remember, I can't remember if it was you or it was someone else, and I said about 5 or 6 weeks when he came in, I fully come round and I was like, he's better manager than Potter. And everyone was like, calm down, mate, you've gone mad. You'd have to say, as right now, he is. It would be hard to argue he's not an upgrade. Would Potter have come sixth outside? No.
I don't think that you can truly judge that, and I think you're being very harsh on Potter. And by the way, I think that Potter should be in a job quicker. I don't think he should be judged upon the Chelsea experience.
No, I agree, and I still think he's a good manager.
Yeah, and I think that I think it's good that he's not taken necessarily the Palace job because of the plastic rivalry and stuff, but someone like Palace is a fabulous,
my honest opinion is I think he's better than Palace.
Yeah, no. Like I do, but then he's not going to go to Tottenham because Tottenham have basically exhausted buying.
I was going to mention that. I was just literally about to mention what you just said. I think he's a better appointment than Ange.
He is a better appointment than Ange, but they've lit how many ex Chelsea managers have they had recently? Yeah. So I just don't think that they can go there really.
Yeah, I mean they sacked Ancelotti and his top drawer.
Yeah. So
yeah. I don't mean to sound salty towards Potter. I love what he did for the club, and I still think he's a very good manager. I will never know, but my opinion is I don't think he'd have got a sixth. But we'll never know. My signing of the season is a slightly boring one that you kind of touched upon. And the main reason why I picked him was because I wanted him in my team of the season. And he didn't get in my team of the season. So I had to give him a mention in my signing of the season, Casemiro. He was quite a lot of money. So that's where I'm a little bit hesitant. But United are a shadow of the team without him. And that's a fact.
Yeah,
they're a shadow of the team without him.
But is that just a reflection of how bad their recruitment has been?
Maybe because they bought a lot of crap. Yeah.
Why is it such a downgrade? And by the way, Casemiro is up there with best in the world in his position.
Yeah.
But why is there a drop off from Casemiro to Fred? Why is there a drop off from Casemiro to McTominay at Manchester United?
Yeah, I guess it's just done it all, won it all, got his experiences, played loads of international, won the Champions League, won multiple trophies. Just, I guess, experience.
Has Casemiro done something that you didn't expect him to do?
He's better than I thought he was. Yeah, he's a little bit better than I thought he was.
Okay. Is Deserby better than you thought he was?
Yeah.
Okay, sound.
I didn't know who he was.
Sound. I win.
Oh, mate, you don't have to get me started. Deserby's brilliant. I just assumed that we were picking players, not managers. But yeah, he's brilliant.
Did you sign Deserby?
Yes, but I assumed we were doing players and not managers. But I'm on board, mate. I love Deserby. Love him.
There you go.
I
actually think that, obviously Man United spent a lot of money, but I actually, apart from obviously and Haaland, which we couldn't choose again, there wasn't many to choose from.
No, there wasn't many. You're right.
Obviously, Liverpool, I'm not going to go there. Everton bought Dwight McNeil, so obviously you're not going to go there. No. Tottenham bought Richarlison. Wow.
Saliba wasn't a signing because he was
Saliba wasn't a signing. Jesus potentially could have been, but then he got injured.
Yeah.
So up until halfway through the season, you could have chose him, but
who is there?
There wasn't actually many.
Pereira, not bad.
Yeah, I started.
I'm kind of clutching at straws a bit now.
I started looking at the West Ham team and the that Brazilian Paqueta. I think he's had a really, really, really good season, and he's had a big impact upon that team. But De Zerbi was the one for me that Paqueta came in for a lot of money. He was an awful lot of money.
Yeah.
And
what I like about De Zerbi is he needed a mention. And he got a mention. He needed a mention.
Thank you.
And I probably should have mentioned him as very close to Manager of the Year. But yeah, he needed a mention. He got his mention, which is great. Good. All right. Well done, Ches. And on that note,
I think I won in those debates there.
Here we go.
Like I think I was a clear winner.
Like a clear winner in FPL.
Well, no, that's not a clear winner. That is a statement winner. And by the way, if anyone wants to listen to us ramble on about FPL, it's at FPL Weekly 11.
Yeah.
And I made that account because I'm numero un. So yeah. Whereas Johnson,
you won't be next, mate. You won't be next year, mate. You beat me 1 year.
Johnson is number deux.
It's the first year you beat me in 10 years. It's all right, so enjoy it because it's going back to normal next year. Just the usual people, please. The Instagram page, elite_sports debate, YouTube at Elite Sports Debate, Twitter, Elite Sports Deb. Elon, have a word, sort it out. We need more characters.
Yeah, need more characters.
Shocking. Honestly, look at what he's done for the world, and we just need 2 more characters. Shocking. Yeah. We didn't want Elite Sport Debba. We wanted Elite Sport Debate, please. But anyway.
Isn't that 3 characters?
Yes, it is. But we were no. We needed 2 more, but we didn't want to go Elite Sports Debba, did we?
No.
So we went Elite Sports Deb.
Yeah.
Anyway, I digress. Thanks very much for watching and listening. We will be back very soon for some more. I think the next one's going to be a general chat. It's going to be Ashes. It's going to be what happened in the US Open.
I am going.
Ches is at day 1.
Day 1.
He'll be live. You should be live videoing, mate. Elite Sports Debate, Instagram, live video from Edgbaston. That's what you should be doing.
For Jerusalem.
Yeah, that'd be class. Enjoy that, mate. Enjoy that. And we'll be talking loads about the Ashes and stuff like that going forward. So good. Thanks for watching and listening. See you next time. Peace out.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.